welcome back to the channel. Today we are reviewing the Transformers 2007 / Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime from the Bayverse. Yeah, it has been a long time coming. I've seen so many requests of this exact character to do him, but this was mainly over on my TikTok page, which you can go check at the end of this video. And the link to my channel, of course. But anyways, enough of that. I've gotten so much requests for this in the past, to do Bayverse, try Bayverse, see if it worked. And I fell back on it for about a year or two now, and I finally got my hands on it. I was finally able to do what I thought was the impossible. Turned out absolutely wonderful. Really great. All of this detail is just so cool. It's very reminiscent of the AMK Yellow Park, or the AMK Pro Yellow Park. That's about to come out, I'm guessing late 2025, but it looks more reminiscent of that than it does of the 3.0, which is pretty cool, really expensive, but that's not what I tried to do here. But anyways, getting a closer look at the detail, it just looks fabulous. I mean, so much has been compacted in here. I am kind of sick, so ignore all the stuffiness in this video, but yeah, just really cool. All this detail is just extremely nice. All down to the separate connection of the arms, this weird pistons that were kind of accurate to the movie. It's just really cool. We even have the gas tanks in the back. The flames are on the arms, the imitation of the flames in the legs. And the legs were just super cool. They didn't take that much effort, but they were really cool when I did design them. But yeah, finally he has a really nice V-taper design. Everything about him is just so cool. And the best part is that, comparably to my old model, this one is probably the most best out of every single one of the models that I have done before. And I mean, genuinely really cool. You know, we have the side. We have the side detail, which is really compact, except for these that stick out, but that had to be intentional. But everything is so compact and well done, except for some odd color balls. And then you have the back. The back is the most lackluster, but I did what I could, I didn't have enough parts to build him in the back. So, but really cool, really, really wonderful. The arms are a bit stocky and short, but I think it's fine for now. I did what I could. But anyways, taking a closer let's take a closer look at the head sculpt. That head sculpt is just amazing. It's a really good beauty wonder, and I'm so glad I was able to achieve it. If you compare it to someone like the 3.0 Optimus Prime, you could tell he has a chin. Out of all the creations I've seen, from Honor Bliss, from Student Scissors, from Click Bricks, I haven't seen absolutely none of them have this chin piece. Even if so, I probably wouldn't have noticed it. Neither would you have noticed it if I didn't shout it out, but really cool. I did want to put studs here, but that definitely would have limited its range, and it's already limited enough, so. But I'm glad I was able to capture such a compact, small, and tight detail into this head sculpt without having to put a eyepiece. You can just think it's like, that's where all the face is, so. And if you look closely at the design of the head, it's much more slimmer in the ear shoulder pieces, the sides, and the front is a lot thicker compared to something like a bucket head of Optimus Prime and G1. And I was really glad I was able to achieve that thinness that he had. Doesn't look too thin, but I think it was great for what it turned out. And it is pretty compact. And it overall fits with the design oh so perfectly, and I just love that. It's just so cool. And he is kind of like shaky. That is because of the design of the legs and how they're engineered to stay in place. So everything just fits so well in there, and I don't want to shake it too much because it is Lego and most pieces will come off, but yeah. So the basics that I did want to focus on was stability, proportions, detail, and engineering. And height too, because I needed that to be accurate as well. So stability, there's not too much force applied, but he is still pretty good at that. And he does stand well on his own. Nothing really topples him over except for maybe the hinges, but until you push it with force, you're not going to get much out of it. So you kind of just, yeah, it's not really going to fall off. And then proportions are really great. I'm super glad it turned out well. It's more of a combination of 3.0 and Yellow Park, as they kind of have different aspects. But if there's one thing I did want to mention when it came to proportions, was how I originally designed it. If you followed me in the past, which I'm very thankful that you have, and I appreciate you being there for a lot of the videos and TikToks and everything, but that's not my point. You remember that I had just a simple connection that didn't really fit well with the design. And then eventually I grew into the design. And then I used these. These were my original design. I mean, feel free to use it, but just please make sure to shout me out. I do not want to have to go over there and seem narcissistic, but because, most people just steal things without having to tell any of the ideas. So this mainly came around from 3.0. I'm not even going to get into all that, and they just simply connected in there, and then you would connect the arm there, and then he would have butterfly joint. But throughout the course of the multi-detailing, I couldn't really do that. So I did decide to take the Yellow Park turn and give that shoulder design to it. But it just turned out super well, and compared to the olds and the new, way better. Way better. Alright, so going into accessories. And accessories, he doesn't come with a ton, but he comes with a great amount, or that's necessary. So first let's go into some lame ones. We have this piece, which is a cap that can simply fit into a minifigure's hand. It's not too much of it until you realize what's next. That one being next is the small matrix of leadership. It doesn't really fit in there. I haven't designed it to open just yet, but he can fit in his hand. But it can also have that stud piece that can have anyone, particularly a Sandwich Wiki, not this one, but just act like he's going to stab the Matrix into his torso. So, then second to last, we have his canister cannon. It's not the best looking. I did my best. This is mainly the handheld. It's not like it's coming out of his hand, but I tried my best to keep it as accurate as possible, but it's mainly inspired by just some Lego pieces. It's just a bunch of things torn together. And before I attach that, I want to show the next accessory before I attach the other cannon, but that one being his mouth plate. He can actually come with an alternate mouth plate, which is really cool. Anyways, how to mount it on is actually not that hard. You simply want to grab the hand and just put a thumbs up. And then since there's a gap over there, you just want to simply connect it and then stud it right here and then collapse the finger. And then it looks like he's perfectly holding it. So yeah, I mean the connection's really secure, and then you can lock the hinge. Oh, that came out. My bad. So yeah, it's kind of flimsy. So then you want to, we pretty much just want to use the hinge that this piece is to kind of secure it in place more. And then it's super small, but I think it still fits nicely. If the barrel was longer, it would look more accurate and realistic. Now, to put the mouth guard on, you just simply want to decapitate him. Now, what you want to do is just simply pinch it and then pull off the mouth guard. Then you can use, the mouth plate, and then you can use the mouth guard and simply connect it, and then connect it in there. Now, he noticeably has a problem in there because the chin is so in deep. When you try and connect the hinge, it's kind of a problem. But anyways, there he is, full decked out in his gear, ready to shoot out, ready to blast someone in the head after just saying the fallen shall rise. I forgot his name. If you know the name, tell me in the comments. And moving on to size comparisons. But before that, here we have a minifigure, the same minifigure we said, and he is really small. The minifigure is really small compared to him. It's not really accurate because he would be shorter, but got what I could. He's not necessarily in scale with Studio Series, but maybe he is, because I don't collect too much Studio Series, but the ones that I do have hopefully are a decent comparison for those of you who do have it. So first off, we have the Bumblebee movie Megatron, and he's really short. It's visibly short, because you can see the head. There's nothing that would make him tall enough for him, and that's just crazy. Normally it's the opposite. Then we also have the Last Night Hot Rod, who's yet again really small. I don't know how accurate that is. I think it's accurate because Bumblebee's supposed to be slightly smaller, I'm guessing. I do plan on making him though. And then for yet another out of movie, we have the Transformers 1 Optimus Prime from Transformers 1, and it is incredibly inaccurate. He should be bigger, so. But, which leads me to my next versions, that being the Yellow Park Transformers 1 B127. And if that's not enough for you, we also have the Transformers 1 YOLO Park. And he's definitely bigger. That's what I meant by size comparison, because he's supposed to be accurately shorter than him. So he technically kind of fits with your YOLO Park. Alright, now articulation. This is when this segment starts to get a lot more tricky and a lot more complicated and really frustrating. So first, this is a lot more harder than usual. So there are about triple ball joints here, but that one's not really used. But the canister can go up and down and rotate. Not really necessary, although when you need to collapse it in place. This does have a ball joint here that can be used for butterfly joints. So can go backward more than forward, but that is great. And then there's full rotation at the arms, so it can go out all the way around. And then go out about that far. Now, the good thing about it is you can just simply pop this out, disconnect it, and since it's Lego, you can just hinge that all the way down there. Hinge that down, and then you can go full rotation. But before you do that, this back panel has to come out. It's quite a lot for some reason, but it more than enough makes up for it because you can get a full-on T-pose with this guy. Although I do recommend to be careful because if you have a connection, the ball joint isn't really that secure, which means in the next few designs that I create, which I actually will mention, you can see it kind of flops over. But T-pose, you can still get poses, just not with accessories on top, so which means it's kind of going to suck. 90-degree bend, that piece came out. 90-degree bend, ball joint here, and then articulated fingers. So you can definitely get expressive or command the Autobots to roll out. So yeah, he can create a full-on T-pose. But moving on to the head. The head can go on a hinge, which can go up really great, and then down not so much. He has some decent rotation here, but there's an extra hinge for more rotation there, so pretty good amount. The torso is actually pretty interesting because he has rotation, not that much, but he can rotate. But he has a really great tilt, so you can definitely get posable with that. So this just loves to come on. And then the legs have a thigh swivel, so it can go in and out. Forward, not so great. Backward, better, but not great. If you hinge this piece or technically lock it out, you can get up, although depending, so it will lock down. So very limited. I don't recommend doing much. And then barely 90 degree. That's when things start to suck over there. And then there's a ball that can go backward, forward. You can get a bit more forward, no, not that much. And then tilt about that far, and then about that far. And then there's a hinge over there that you did see. So yeah, it's just not that great. Okay, now overall thoughts. It's really complicated because it is such a pain in the ass to work with when it comes to posability, but he's not really meant to be a displayable piece anyways. I mean, a posable piece anyways. He's just meant to stand there and look great on your Lego mock shelf or whatever shelf you want to put him in, but he's not meant to be horsed around, you know. You have to be really careful with it. It's kind of like 3-0. It's not supposed to have a playability of Yellow Park. I do hope to do that later down in the future. One thing I will tell you is that do not like be disgraced, because this is not the only thing that you're gonna see. You're gonna see so many versions of him. There's hopefully gonna be a Dark of the Moon version with more sturdier upgrades with the whole body. We're gonna have Age of Extinction evasion mode. Hopefully the jetpack mode and the Revenge of the Fallen version where he's with Jetfire. Although I don't guarantee that to happen, I will say that that is definitely something that you should at least expect to happen. It's not going to actually happen, but, you know, something just to be hyped around later down the road and excited about. I will do Age of Extinction, but that'll be a whole different retool and body. It will not have this. I will be able to have him in here for comparison, so yeah. I'll just say stay tuned for that. Overall rating, I'll probably give him most likely 8.9, if not a 9 out of 10. He's so close to being perfect. It's just those minor, actually more than minor, it's major parts that definitely ruin him from going in his full potential. But he just looks really good right now. But I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Thank you all for watching. Please comment what's your guys' opinion, what you think, what you want me to do. I have plans for what I'm going to do, but I really want to hear from you. What's your thoughts on this? Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and sign out, and I'll see you guys in the next video.